Welcome, my dear student. I am Khujistan Orin Liza, lecturer English, Anandamohan College English. Today, this is the class for honors 4th year. Our subject is English and our topic is novel. Today, I am starting this novel for you. Our topic is, The Grass is Singing. This is by Doris Lessing. At first, as a student, you have to read this novel by yourself, dear. Otherwise, you can't understand the critical analysis. You have to read this novel not only one time, but also at least 3 or 4 times by yourself if you want to understand the inner meaning of this novel. So now I am starting this critical analysis. At first, lesson outcome. Learners will be able to say about the characters of the novel, and I think they can say about the novelist. They can explain the historical background of the novel, and they can write the title and plot of the novel after this class. So, as a teacher, my dear student, we can only show you the way how to study the novel, but I can't make you read. You have to read it yourself, and you have to feel, and you have to analyze it by yourself, by your knowledge, by many critical appreciation of many type of text, and the most important source, internet. Through internet, you can, if you go through the internet, I wish you can understand the novel more and more. And the basic technique of reading a novel, as you are a student of 4th year, I think this is not necessary for you, but I am giving you the information that if you want to understand a novel, you have to think of any point from different angle, not only one angle. You have to analyze one thing in from different point of view, from social perspective, from economical perspective, from psychological perspective, how that character brought up, in which context he is now living, in which political background he is surviving. So all the factors are important for analyzing a novel. I wish you can understand. Next, who is Doris Lessing? Doris Lessing, her birth is in Iran, 22nd October 1919. She died in 17th November 2013, age 94, London, England. Pen name Jane Somers. Occupation writer. Nationality British. Citizenship King. Genre, she wrote a novel, short story, biography, drama, liberty, and poetry. A literary movement she faced: modernism, postmodernism, Sufism, socialism, feminism, skepticism, science fiction. Notable works: The Grass is Singing, Children of Violence series, The Golden Notebook, Briefing for a Descent into Hell, The Good Terrorist, etc. And notable awards: Somerset Maugham Award 1954, Austrian State Prize for European Literature 1981, W.H. Smith Literary Award 1986, Nobel Prize in Literature 2007. I know this is, you can find it in internet available, and you can also find it in the starting point of our literary criticism, or the book, the main text you can find in the starting point in detail about Doris Lessing. So I wish you can you should at least one time you should go through the about the novelist, at least one time. This is my advice for you. This is our Doris Lessing. I have collected two pictures. One is younger and another is older for you. Then characters of the Grassy Singing, the main characters. At first, Mary Turner, Dick Turner, Charlie Slater, Tony Marston, Moses, Sergeant Denham, Mrs. Slater, unnamed farmer, Samson, etc. Mary Turner, Dick Turner, Charlie Slater, Toni Morrison, Moses. They are the main characters with whom we are going to dealing with. So dear, now I am going to start. First, the short character analysis about Mary Turner. We will analyze all the characters in detail in the next classes. But today, as I am starting the novel, so I am giving you the short analysis for the minimum background knowledge. For your minimum background knowledge, I am giving you the short information. This is not the all. Mary Turner, she is the main character of this novel. She raised in poverty with a drunken father who would spend any savings on alcohol. Mary manages to make a life for herself based on her intelligence and diligence. She lives in a boarding house for girls and works ably as a secretary in town. She falls for Dick Turner, fall in love and lives with him to his farm. On the first, she is oppressed both by the isolation and by her husband's lack of success. Her frustration channels into her latent feelings of racism, which leads to a strange inverted attraction when the African man she beat begins to take care of her. She eventually loses her mind and is murdered by him. This is our Mary Turner. So Mary Turner is the main character, you know. She is a white woman at first, from the very first, which is not informed here, but I am informing you. She is a white woman and her husband, our Dick Turner, he is also a white man. Here racism or colonialism is the main theme of this novel. So when she raised up in poverty, though in poverty, racism is a instinct in her blood. So many times she act violently with this racism in various point of view, in various situations. She act violently to the black people. Then Dick Turner, he brought up in an impoverished family in a suburban Johannesburg in South Africa. So Dick Turner worked several jobs before giving up plans to study to become a veterinarian and traveling to southern Rhodesia to live independently in a farm on a farm of his own. He incurs debts that he never manages to pay off while managing to stave off bankruptcy. He feels intensely lonely and takes Mary as a wife to assuage these feelings. After Mary gets into an illicit relationship with Moses and Charlie Slater practically forces Dick to leave his farm, Dick goes insane at the prospect of being anywhere else. So Dick Turner also lives in a odd situation as Mary Turner. Both of them tried to be together and to make a successful family life, but they were not successful, you know, as Mary Turner was in relationship with Moses, and Dick Turner also was not capable of taking care of Mary Turner, as she can't give her the full mental and physical support. So next, Charlie Slater, a farmer neighboring Dick Turner's farm, Charlie Slater represents the cruelly extractive kind of colonialist farmer. He treats his workers poorly and exhausts his soil to make money quickly. He becomes rich after the First World War and hopes to become even richer by buying up Turner's farm and expanding to other businesses. So Charlie Slater was successful by any means by torturing the black workers, which our Dick Turner was not capable, because he was too much sympathetic towards the black workers. Dick Turner is Mary's husband, but Charlie Slater, as a white man, he took all his facilities for his personal development, personal facilities. He make it by force to the black workers. Then Toni Morrison, an idealistic young British man who has come to southern Rhodesia to make money. So all the British people, they are gathering here, gathering to Rhodesia or the African countries for making money. So they are using the colony countries to make their money, which they cannot make it in their own country. Charlie Slater assigns him to work under Dick Turner for a time so that he can take care of Turner's farm for a time. He is disturbed by seeing Mary allowing Moses to dress her. After Mary's murder, he gives up on farming and goes to northern Rhodesia to mine. So he was totally depressed by the illicit relationship between Moses and Mary. And who is Moses? He is the black male person, an extraordinary intelligent and strong African laborer in the employ of the Turners, first in the fields and then in their houses. When trying to supervise the field workers, Mary becomes infuriated at him for his speaking English and looking at her with a vaguely mocking look. She whips him in the face, but he does not retaliate. Later, as a houseboy, he takes care of an increasingly deranged Mary. He is fired by Mary under the compulsion of Toni Morrison and then kills Mary. Moses is the symbol of colony people. Colony people, not only colony people but also a male personality, which is the another main theme of this novel. So colonialism and as we can say, we can say it, always the male personalities try to dominate the women. So here Moses, though he was a black man, he started to dominate Mary by his male power. So though being a white woman, our Mary is not safe from this male domination. So Moses is the symbol of two things: one, male domination; second, colonialism. The suppressed personality of a colonialism, or the suppressed man of colonialism. So Charlie Slater, he is the ruler of colony countries. He is the symbol of colonialism, symbol of ruling party, and Moses is the symbol of ruled or oppressed or suppressed personality. Next, Sergeant Denham. They are not that much significant, but for our novel's necessity, they are here. Sergeant Denham, the police sergeant who arrives on the scene of Mary Turner's murder only to find that Charlie Slater has gotten there first. He shares Charlie's feelings of horror and disgust at the thought that the Mary could have had relationship with Moses. Then Mrs. Slater, Charlie Slater's wife. She tries to neighborly to the Turners, but her offers to entertain to help them are rebuffed again and again by Mary. Unnamed farmer, and an unknown farmer turns Dick for losing his crops to drought, calling him Jonah. Then Samson, the first native houseboy whom Mary encounters. Native policeman arrives at the scene. Mary's murder, but deferred to Charlie Slater because he is white. Whatever, they are the characters for necessity. Small characters, they are not the our important characters, but our Mary Turner, Dick Turner, then Charlie Slater, Toni Morrison, Moses, they are the vital characters of our novel. Then title. Why this title is selected by our novelist, The Grass is Singing, how it is connected with this novel. So dear, The Grass is Singing is the first novel published in 1950s by British Nobel Prize winning author our Doris Lessing. It takes place in southern Rhodesia in southern Africa during the 1940s and deals with the racial politics between whites and blacks in the country. The novel created a sensation when it is first published and became an instant success in Europe and the United States. The title is a phrase from the 15 lines of T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, quoted after the novel's dedication to Mrs. Glady Masdrop of Southern Rhodesia, for whom I feel the greatest affection and admiration, on both lines and 354 and 386. What the thunder said, this is the main information, dear. What the thunder said, from this the wasteland, this is the verse of wasteland, this is a part of wasteland, when I have taught you the poet by T.S. Eliot, poem by T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland. This title is taken from the poem called The Wasteland, written by T.S. Eliot, 1922. When the grass is singing, it means that it is hot, and then the cicadas make a lot of noise. Mary hates hot weather and hates the noise. It indicates the way she thinks about her life. So for that reason, Grass is Singing. This title is selected by our novelist Doris Lessing. So these informations are side information. This is not that much important for you, but this last stanza is important for you for the title. So again I am mentioning that the title is selected from the poem The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, and Grass is Singing means the hot weather with a lot of noise, which our Mary hates, though she has to live in that hot weather with lots of noise, and she was suffering in mental trauma. For this reason, the title is The Grass is Singing. Then the plot. The novel begins with the newspaper clipping about the death of Mary Turner, a white woman killed by her black servant Moses, and this must be a revolution, when a black servant kills a white woman. That is a insecure situation of the colony people, I mean the colonial ruler. This is the alarming situation of the colonial ruler, whom are at risk in their colony countries. If the colonial people become revolutionaries, then they can't dominate them, and they can't make money, or they can't rule over them. So this is an important news for all of them, though this is, you may think this is a personal relationship or something like that, but it's not personal. As a black man killed a white man. The bulk of novel is the story of Mary's life. After a loveless rich childhood, Mary is contented with her life as an officer worker in a city of Rhodesia. But after overhearing her friends laugh at her as a sexless and immature, she resolves to marry. When Dick Turner asks her, she consents. Though she has met him only twice, Dick is also inferior to Wade. He is a very lonely and unhappy clawing, a bear living from a substance from and living in a bare, ugly little house. From the beginning, they are distant and cold, but except when Mary briefly runs away, fear of loneliness and lack of money keep them together. When Mary becomes involved in running up the farm, she realizes that its failure is not down to bad luck, as Dick keeps telling her, but his incompetence. This distances her even more from him. Their white neighbors make overtures of friendship, but out of the shame at her poverty, Mary rejects them. The Turners' barren existence is contrasted with the fierce beauty of the land to which they are oblivious. The native whom Dick employs in the farm, that is a source of tension. Black people have never been part of Mary's world, and she treats them with frigid contempt. She can't tolerate them. They have difficulty keeping a servant until Dick assigns his friend Field Hand and Moses to the house. That he does not know is that the veil on Moses' face in there because Mary, enraged and what she considers insolence, struck him with a whip. As the farm deteriorates, the three of them are locked into an elaborate dance of intimacy and despair and finally death. Thank you, my dear student. But before finishing the class, I have given you detail of the lecture in my slide. This is not fair to give everything in slide, though I have given you. If you want to take some important points from here in your notes to enrich your note, I think beside your critical analysis books, so this will help you to make specific information based or a specific topic based answer. I think that will help you. So for that reason I have given you every detail. When we give you lecture, you cannot take all the point, so I have given you the main point with detail, and after that I have also explained it in a simple language to make you understand the situation. I think you can understand this understand the every detail of this topic. Today we have just only started with short analysis of the characters and the plot overview. I wish I can give you more detail in the next class. I wish you will be better. You will be in better health, and okay, thank you for today. Okay.